everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Jasmita. Over the last few years, I've always tried to do makeup looks that are specifically tailored for springtime, so like a corally pink or like a berry shade type of makeup, and I've never been able to get it right because I would always use my Stone Cold Fox palette by Colourpop, and like if you know that palette, you know it's pink but very cool toned and very like gray undertone, so I could never get that like actual pink look that I'm after. So over the last few years I've accumulated, you know, like more makeup and a couple more eyeshadow palettes, and a couple of weeks ago I sat down and I was just like, okay, I need to create the most ideal, perfect, beautiful, ethereal spring makeup that is very pink, but pink in a way that suits my complexion because I'm tan. So I can't really, you know, use pastel pink just because I don't really think it suits me that much. It should look natural but also pink, you know? I came up with such a beautiful look, and that's what we're gonna do today. I already have my moisturizer and sunscreen already on. I put it on a while ago, so we can just go straight into foundation. I'm using Maybelline Fit Me Matte+Poreless, I think. Yeah, in the shade 230. I am actually going to use the Stone Cold Fox palette today, but with a couple other things so that it looks a little bit more pink. Spreading it on the back of my hand like that. First, like to spread it and apply it as evenly as I can on like a side of my face. So this side, for example, I'm using my wet latex sponge. I've already used it a few times, so that's why it's colored. And then just press it in. I got this, by the way, the Diamond Bomb in How Many Carats. This was like a dream makeup product for me, like because I wanted to get it for years. I just didn't, so I finally got it. So I always put a little foundation under my eye. I don't use color corrector, maybe I should, but for now I just do a little bit of foundation under my eye, and then I'll put concealer on top. So there's like 2 layers of coverage. Apply it evenly. It's funny how glowy it looks because it's a matte foundation. Honestly, if I don't use like primer, I have normal to dry skin, so over the course of me wearing this throughout the day, it will sort of like create shine, like from going out or like sweating or something, and it honestly looks more satin than matte. If I need a little extra coverage, I'll just take it on my finger and put it on whatever spots after finishing my whole face. Using whatever's left, I'm just gonna pick it up on the sponge kind of messily, I don't really care, and just bring it down my jaw. My base makeup is honestly pretty simple. I don't do anything that extensive for it, but the order that I apply my products is important. So I don't do concealer next, I do bronzer next. So I'm using e.l.f. Halo Glow Contour Wand in medium/tan. These hairs are driving me crazy. So I just apply this all around my face like that, in a line first. Okay. And then a little bit on the side. Okay, so a little bit on, sorry, it's really noisy outside. A little bit on the side and top of my nose. It doesn't matter, it's just bronzer, I'm not like contouring. And then a little bit on the side, which will act as my bronzer for my cheeks. And then I use like this type of brush, fluffy but got a slanted edge, and I just blend it out. I don't brush like crazy, I just tap it out. I don't use too much, just a little, and when it blends out, it's not super pigmented. It looks super pigmented on here, but it's not that crazy, I promise you. I didn't even notice that. when I get to the cheek, I just blend upwards mostly, and then a little bit down. Blend the sides of my nose, kind of messily, just so that it looks like I've got some sun on there. Oh my god, it looks crazy. It doesn't look like that in real life. I don't know why it looks like that. Guys, trust me, like, yeah, okay. Another thing that I really wanted to do for my spring makeup is have a gradient blush. I've always wanted to try that. So today I'm going to use the Wet n Wild High Shine Brilliance Jam With Me lipstick as one of my blushes, and then I'll use I've got another blush. So yeah, it's broken, don't mind that. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this very carefully on my finger. So it looks like that. You can use any maroon shade you want. It doesn't matter if it's not sheer. This is sheer, but it's okay if yours isn't. Putting it up here, kind of under my eye almost, and like to the side a little bit, and blending it upward. Make sure you pick up the same amount. Then I'm going to use my e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand in the blush Rosé You Slay. And my usual blush placements are right here on my cheekbone, like that. And you know, see how it blends into that darker shade? A little bit on my chin, nose, up here in this kind of shape, like that and like that. And then same thing on here. Just blending it out with this kind of brush. These don't have a name, the ones that are like peach right here. I'm sorry, they don't have a name. I just bought them randomly on Amazon. I just typed in like makeup brush set and just got like the first one I found. The other brushes I'm using, the ones that are not peach up here, are all from Zoeva. That's from like 10 years ago. Just stippling that almost and dragging it upwards into that darker color. Don't be afraid to get the blush under your eye. It looks more natural that way. I personally don't like a disconnected blush look from my concealer. For concealer, I'm using Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 22 Wheat here. On the outer corner, very, very slightly. Straight like this, and then down. All the way down the bridge of my nose, above my lips, and on my chin. Using the flat end of my sponge to blend that out. I'm not moving it around too much because this is meant to be as highlighter for my eye. I'm also not going to move around the concealer too much. I have a new eyeshadow primer today. It's from Milani called Eyeshadow Primer. It comes in a purple tube. I hate that it comes in a tube so much. I prefer like a wand. So I'm just gonna try like that much. Applying that everywhere, even up under my brow bone, mostly on the lid, even on the inner corner. And I'm gonna take some more and put it on my lower lash line as well. So really all the way around the eye. I like to put eyeshadows underneath my eye too. I honestly don't think that you need to use face primer every single time you do your makeup. If you have a similar skin type to me, which is normal to dry, but never ever skip the eyeshadow primer. Never. I'm gonna go straight into powdering, starting with e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder in the shade Light. Or even if I'm going out, I don't always use face primer. Just only when I know I'm gonna be to a party or something. Make sure it's even as you can get. It's fine. This is very important. Pay attention, this is very important. After you have it picked up and after it's even on your puff, take your pinky and smooth out any creases that have already formed, and then immediately powder. Load your puff with powder. Once again, tap off on the empty part of your lid, whatever you're getting the powder from. After it's on there, get rid of any creases, blend out all the products, and set immediately. Make sure you do it in that order, because let's say you blend out the creases, then pick up the powder, and then look back up, you look down, you look up, you know, it's gonna make a mess. You might create more creases, and that's not good. Next thing I'm gonna do now that I've powdered my lids and under eyes is I'm gonna pick up the powder on my puff, and even if it's uneven, I don't really care because I'm gonna use a second powder with a powder brush, and I'm just going to put that everywhere. If you're only using one powder and you're using a powder puff, make sure it's even. But if you're doing what I'm doing, it doesn't matter. Don't like brush off the powder just yet. Just keep pressing it into your skin until it's all, you know, disappearing and your face is matte. We're gonna brush this away in the end with a different powder. I started doing this in the summer. I would use 2 different powders, and it really helped with the longevity of my makeup a lot. And I would also use like face primer at the start and then setting spray at the end. Okay, whole face is powdered. Missed a spot. Now I'm going to move straight ahead into my pressed powder, which is the Covergirl Clean Powder in 105 Ivory. A fluffy brush like this, it's from Jouez. Picking up a lot of the powder. Both of the powders I'm using are talc free, by the way. So if you need more like setting power, I don't think this is gonna help you. Dust it on. With this, it's gonna set into place and also dust off any excess powder that I had on before. Okay, so we're fully matte now. I like to fill in my eyebrows at this stage of my makeup. So I'm using the e.l.f. Mad for Matte palette, this one. This video is mirrored, by the way, so you're seeing this in reverse. I'm using the 6th shade and the 7th one. I mostly like to use this gray one, and then I'll tap mostly in here and then tap a couple times in here, and that's what I use to do my brows. And I use an eyebrow brush. It's like an angled brush. It's more so darkening your brows really than filling it in, because I think it looks a little weird when I fill them in too much. So I fill them in very, very, very slightly. So any area of my brow that isn't as dark as the other areas, I am filling them in so that they appear as dark as the other areas, but not so much like drawing them on, you know? Starting off at the front here, just a few upward lines, and then just feather it out in the rest in a sideways line. I've got a little bit of empty space here, so I'm just gonna fill that in so that it looks as dark as the other parts of my brows. Make sure you leave this part of your brows a little bit lighter or less filled than the rest of your brows. If it's all one darkness, it's gonna look a little fake. If you like that, then by all means. And then brush it out with just like a spoolie I only use for my brows. Just blending out whatever I've already done so it doesn't look too drawn on or powdery. And also I can tone down the darkness in some spots, like right here if I need to. Then I'm gonna use gel. I also got this recently, Rimmel Wonderful Brow Clear Brow Styling Gel. This is fine. It could be a little bit more crispy because I prefer that. I honestly like to feather them up just a tiny bit, not completely up, but make them look sort of messy, like they've been in the wind almost. I think you can see what I mean. Here it's like facing a little bit more up. Here it's facing a little bit more up, but then it's going down to the side. I like that slightly asymmetrical look. Let's start with the eyes. I recently bought the NYX Ultimate I Know That's Bright palette, this one. This is a great palette. I recommend you get something like this because it has every color. It's not too pigmented though. With your finger, it is pigmented, but with a brush, not so much, which I honestly prefer when I'm trying to like build up a color. Or in my case, in today's look, I'm just using the pink shades in this palette to create like a pink undertone to my overall look. Let me explain a little bit more in detail what I mean. So I'm going to use my Stone Cold Fox palette, which looks like this. And this is the shade I want to use. It's called Play It Coal. And you can see how cool toned it is. So that looks a little too ashy and cool toned for spring, you know? What I'm gonna do is with this palette first, I'm gonna take this pink shade and this peach shade the stuff that's above and below this green one, pick them both up with my fluffy brush, tap off the excess. Then going to start with the crease. I'm gonna build up a little bit of that color. You can even put it all over the place. It doesn't really matter because it's gonna get covered up. And on the outer corner and the lower lash line, just hold your mirror up a little higher and look up into it. And with your same brush, just run that along your lower lash line. And in the outer V, like this diagonal shape that I did in my last video, make sure that's very blended out so it doesn't look like a harsh pink in contrast with your skin. Take your time building this up. Honestly, you really need this to show through so that the other eyeshadows you put down on your eyes look more pink. So that's why I'm starting with this first. This look is honestly perfect for like special occasions too. It's a very berry tone, so if you're near my skin tone, it's gonna look really amazing on you. If you have a deeper complexion, you can just use like darker pinks. If you're lighter, pastel pinks, whatever you want. You don't even have to do pink if you don't want to. You can use a different color story and follow the same like formula of what I'm doing, and you're gonna get the same look. That's about as much pink as I'm going to add. It's not a lot, but you can tell it's there. Again, great palette, you should get this. I tried these two shades, the green and the glitter green here for my birthday makeup, and this glitter is so nice. It's almost got like a clear base to it. It's very beautiful. Now I'm going to use Play It Cool from the Stone Cold Fox palette. It's by Colourpop, by the way. Tap off, always tap off. And applying that straight to my lid. See how it looks more pink? But if you had it on there on its own, it would look gray. And blend the lid color into the previous bright pink shade. I'm still using the same brush. This is my favorite eyeshadow brush. I don't know what it's called. Sorry. You can look at it. It's a shaped like that, kind of like a fan. It fans out. And it's pretty fluffy, a little bit tapered, I guess, right here at the end. It's got a little bit of a taper, like that. Really good brush. Applying it until it looks like I'm actually like using that color. I'm not just barely I'm putting a lot on there. And covering, not necessarily covering up the pink that you did, but I'm just slightly going over it on the outer V and the lower lash line. Well, I'm going to take that shadow once again on my finger and pat it onto my lid, because this shadow has a bunch of pink glitter flecks in it. It's a matte shadow with pink glitter in it, and I want to make sure you can see at least a little bit of that. The glitter that I've got from that eyeshadow is a little bit more obvious in person, but it's so nice. Like this for me, Play It Cool from the Stone Cold Fox palette is honestly like a one and done eyeshadow. I wear that on its own all the time with just eyeliner, mascara, and it looks really, really nice. Highly recommend this palette, by the way. This is an amazing cool tone palette. Now I'm stepping into my Pat McGrath Mothership 9 IX palette. The color that I'm gonna use is this one. This pink shimmer, almost glitter. Pick that up on my finger. You can see how pink that is. Very beautiful. Applying that on my inner lid, even into the crease, that's fine. You know how much I love that. Just on the inner half of my lid. Then I'm also going to go over my inner corner with this shade. Like really get it on there. Once again, the inner lid, inner corner, lower inner corner. So the reason that I'm using this shade on my inner corner as well is, yes, I'm gonna put something else on top, but I want this shade to be underneath that one, so that as opposed to seeing just a skin tone underneath whatever highlight you've got on the inner corner, you have this beautiful pink shade. And it makes your eye look more cohesive, more professional looking. Like the colors you used on your eyes are also present in your inner corner, like you just didn't put a highlight there. You can, there's nothing wrong with that, but this is something that I like to do. If I'm using color on the lid, it's going in my inner corner, and then I'll put another highlight on top of it. I'm using the shimmer right here. Incredible. That I'm putting on my inner corner. So now you can see I've got like a glitter in here, but underneath that glitter, in real life it's more obvious, you can see that pink shade, and I think that adds a beautiful elevated dimension to your look. And the lower inner corner, I think I learned this tip from Michelle Phan when I was like 10, and she was saying in her videos that when you apply a shimmer in your, or glitter in your lower inner corner right here, it gives your eyes this like wet like appearance, and yeah, it looks amazing, and I've been doing that ever since. I'm going to use my Rom&nd gorgeous glitter palette. I bought this like a year ago and I barely use it, just because I didn't realize how gritty these textures were going to be. I thought the glitters would be smooth, but they're not, so just keep that in mind. If you don't have this kind of palette, you can try to use like a glitter liner, the ones that come in those like really pointy flexible brushes, and then you can just brush that on and blend that out. So those work too, but I don't have anything like that, so I'm gonna use this. This one is Twinkle Pink. Placing that on the center of my lid as a transition between this shimmery pink shade and the matte main eyeshadow that I have on. Make sure you apply it into that shimmer as well so that it looks like a gradient. The gradient effect is very essential to makeup. Like you can't, if you skip that, it's not gonna look blended, it's not gonna look good at all. So blend it and create that gradient look. That's so beautiful. I did this, yeah. Blend it all the way up to your crease. Put glitter in your crease, who cares? Put glitter everywhere, honestly. The rest that I have on my fingers, I'm going to apply that on my brow bone. It's like a light pink, and it's got like a rainbowy kind of effect in it. Look at that. Incredible. For now, I'm gonna step back a little bit to the face. Honestly, you can do your makeup in any order that you like. What I prefer is to do a little bit of my face, do the main eyeshadow, even the lower lash line, then step back onto my face to do bronzer, blush, powder bronzer, powder blush, and highlighter. Then go back to my face to do extra details like eyeliner and mascara. The reason I do it this way is because when you're applying your bronzer, you might use a big brush and you're like moving in this kind of motion. And when you do that, you've already got your liquid eyeliner on, it could smudge. I'm using Marcelle Eye Bronze Matte in 4 Dark Bronze, using my Real Techniques Multitask brush. Get a lot on there. And tap off the excess. Starting off with my forehead, just doing the bronzer exactly the same way we did with the liquid. So down the side. Same exact spots as before. On the cheekbone and slightly lower than that. I never contour my face. I don't really think I need it, honestly. And bronzer, you can be a little bit like messy with your application, even like putting it all over this area, and that it'll look fine because it's kind of a warmer shade meant to mimic the gradual tanning. On the sides of my nose and on top of my nose to mimic sun exposure, but not actually being exposed to the sun at all. Remember, wear sunscreen. To continue the gradient blush effect, I recently got the Covergirl Cheekers blush in this very dark maroon shade, 106 Bordeaux Burgundy. I'm going to use the brush it comes with. So it's really small, looks like a microphone almost. It's a dark color, so I'm going to be very slow when I put this on and when I build it up. Tap off the excess. I'm gonna put it on where I put on the dark lipstick blush. Just keep blending and use very little as you start. This blush is pretty cool toned, honestly, so if you're cool toned, deep complexion, this could be like your regular blush. Okay, so now you can see, you can even use red if you want. That would be nice too. Red up here and then like a peach one down here. I'm gonna try that next time. And get it close to your eye. Does it cover up your concealer? Yeah, that's fine. I think it looks a little bit more natural that way. I'm going to use my usual blush, the Essence blush in 05 Pretty Peach. Pick up a lot. I love blush. Go crazy. Making sure that I apply it even a little bit on top of that blush so that they are really, really blended together. And for spring, double the amount of pink you use and it's gonna look amazing. On my nose, the spots where I put my cream e.l.f. Blush, and on my forehead as well. Not too much though. Another reason that I'm doing my makeup in this order, continuation of what I was saying earlier, is because when you've got all these powders on your face and you use a setting spray, like a setting mist, one of those that makes your powders all like melt into your skin and look like one layer, is again with your mascara and your eyeliner. If you're completely done with the eyes, it could run, and I'm not going to take that risk. I'm using my Maybelline Master Chrome highlight in 50 Rose Gold Molten, and with one of these like bigger, I think this is an eye brush honestly, but I like to use these on my face, down my nose, sides of my nose. That's very important, especially if you're going to like a club or something. Don't forget your nostril highlight, because when you take your flash photos, you're gonna be like glistening and you want that. The forehead and down. Basically, I'm just connecting my nose highlight with my forehead highlight above my eyebrow, the starting of my brow, and on my cheek, and then connecting that to the side of my face on my temples and connecting it to above my eyebrow. These are all the places on your face where you want to highlight dimension, especially because they are higher points on your face. Like this is a high point on your face. This is a very high point on your face. This is a high point on your face. And you're gonna emphasize all that with highlighter. So the chin, if you're wearing a top like me, make sure you get your collarbones as well. I would ideally use a bigger brush, but you get the idea. I'm using my e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. Yes, I got a fan just for this. You can see the dewiness is back in my skin. It looks a little bit less powdery. I'm gonna use the Twinkle Pink shade, this one that I used right here, on my face as well, just a little bit. I love glitter so much. I absolutely love the rainbow effect in this glitter. Like, yes, it's pink, but the little rainbow flecks are so beautiful. I'm gonna do my eyeliner like I usually do, which is where I use a crayon brown for my inner corner, a crayon black for my upper tight line, and a liquid brown for the wing, just the wing. I don't draw a wing and then a line over my eye. Just feels like it covers up the eyeshadow that I've done. And I also feel like having that line there, it just makes my eyes look a little too heavy. And I like this like lighter style, lighter in amount style of eyeliner. I'm putting it in the inner corner. Let me know if you're watching any good shows lately, because I started watching The Apothecary Diaries like last week and I just hadn't seen it before, and it's really good. I really like it. The art, incredible. It's so gorgeous. So you can see I've got that brown liner up into that little groove right there. So for your tight line, it's easy. Just look down, hold your mirror below you, like at your chest level, and look down into it and raise your eyebrows like this. And then just put it on. If you feel like you need to press hard, the eyeliner's not good. You can see the difference from before I had my eyeliner on. There is some definition at my upper lid without compromising the space that is solely dedicated for the eyeshadow. So this is the way that I like to do my eyeliner. Sometimes I don't even wear the wing, but when I do, I prefer a brown liquid wing. This is by L'Oreal. I'm able to draw the wing on this eye, my right eye, better. So I'm gonna start with my left eye. So if it looks bad, I can match it here. So start on your bad side first. Just draw the wing in your desired angle, shape, size. And when I'm done drawing the wing, draw a very, very, very tiny line that blends into my lash line. So you see, I don't draw it all the way in. Apply this on my lower lash line, just getting under your lashes and then pressing it there, dragging it out, then smudge it with your finger under the lashes, just in the outer lower lash line. I'm gonna apply a little bit of freckles. I've got my She Glam freckles in dark chocolate. I'm completely finished with my eyes, and I'm going to apply my L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara in Mystic Black. Mystic Black. That's interesting. And wipe off whatever is at the end, right here. Raise your eyebrows. Look down into the mirror and wiggle your wand at the base of your lashes. The most important mascara tip that I have for you is the lashes that are in the middle of your eye, brush them up. The lashes that are on the outer corner of your eye, brush them outwards. The lashes that are on the inner part of your eye, brush them inwards, so that your lashes look like that and not just all of it going like that. Your lashes need to, you know, actually look like they're going in the right direction so that your eye looks 3D, like it looks round. You can also kind of close your eye like this while you're wiggling your wand. That also works. Just do about 1 coat, and then if I really need more, I'll do 2. Using the tip of my wand to get the inner lashes and point them inwards, and then the tip of the wand again to point them outwards. This will also make you look like you've got more lashes. For the bottom lashes, I also have a very specific way that I like them done. So my bottom lashes are long enough where when I'm wearing my mascara for a while, it leaves like a mark like that. And I don't like that long look. It makes my eyes look like really open and round, whereas I want them to look like elongated and more sultry. Then I will just apply the mascara on the root of the lash, close to the waterline. It looks a bit more proportional when I don't apply my lower mascara fully all the way down the lash. So you can see maybe when I turn like this, lashes are long. You can see the mascara is only on the top half of the lashes, like the root. Eyes are complete. Really, really gorgeous. Love how it came out. This is my ideal spring look. You can wear this to like a party. You can wear this every day when it's spring. I just love wearing pink in the spring, more so than any other season. For the lip look of this look, I also want it to look pink, but like a berry pink. So I'm gonna show you how I do that. So I'm gonna start with Whirl by MAC. Overline at the center of the top lip and the center of the bottom lip, and then don't overline anywhere else. I like to color in the inner corners of my lips, or the outer corners, I guess. And for my lipstick, I'm using Velvet Teddy by MAC, which is my favorite lip color. Then, to make it look more pink, I'm gonna use the same lipstick that I used as blush up here. This is a maroon lipstick. So I'm applying that on top of my nude pink toned lipstick, and it completely transforms that look. Let's say you have these 2 lipsticks, and you know this looks good on you, and you know this looks good on you. So wear them together. because you don't have to wear one lipstick. You can just create so many more combinations for your lip looks when you use them together. I don't have a ton of lip products, and I can just create a bunch of different colors by mixing my lipsticks together. So final step is the gloss. I'm using e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil in Crystal Baller. This is so pretty. I wish it was a lip gloss, honestly. I prefer a lip gloss formula way more, but the shimmer, this is so amazing for a product that's not too expensive. If you want even more shimmer, you can apply like a glitter highlighter like this. You can apply that on top of your lip gloss, or you can apply like this type of glitter, or like the Mcgrath glitters, and that is the finished look. I really hope you try it. I really hope you recreate this look. It makes me feel amazing. There's something so like fantasy-like about this makeup. Like these types of makeup looks are my favorites, and I'm really going to try this in different color stories as well, because I really like this makeup formula, like how I did everything, all of the steps that I did, and I really hope you try it out as well. Perfect for spring, perfect for even summer, and when it's fall, you can do this exact same look all matte, maybe with darker colors like maroon, or you can do shimmer like this and then just make it maroon, whatever you like. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you liked it, and I really hope you try it out again. Let me know what kind of makeup looks you want to see from me next, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!